What to do? What up, everybody? Welcome to Late Night Live. This is episode number 7, and thank you for staying up with us. We really appreciate it. We got Asa Jack's Media Grounds here with me tonight. Dathan is doing something with his wife, so I think he said he'll pop in a little later, but right now it's just the good old boys right here. Chris, how you doing?
Hello. I'm here. Let's do this.
You're in the arcade. Looks like you got some cool games on again.
Every week,
Bro,
they don't change.
that's crazy. You got such a good collection back there. Although I'm jealous of your pool too still.
Yeah. I can always change locations this week. We could go to the movie theater. Who doesn't want to hang
Oh,
out there?
I don't know if I do like your video podcast there, but
Yeah, we can go back to the actual arcade. We got
what the heck?
ourselves.
What is that one?
We got an air hockey table.
What?
Always playing some air hockey. Got the bar in the back. That's where good old boy sits back there with his beer and serves. And we got the big old driving games back here, boy.
Oh
Go along
man.
with that. We'll hang out there for tonight.
All right. Anyway, it's been a fun week. A lot of interesting news with the video game companies. So we're gonna touch on a lot of it. So I think there was a big news today that no Nintendo Switch 2 till next year. We can talk about the Xbox stuff that happened. Oh, and there's Dathan.
Hey, what's up,
Hey.
guys?
Dude, you sound good now.
Oh, good. I'm glad because I made a few modifications and decided to make it so I didn't sound like hot trash. So here we go.
Wow, and the camera looks good too.
Good.
Did you get a
See
new
my,
camera?
shiny forehead, and let's get to it.
Dude, awesome.
Here we go.
We're just talking about I'd like to talk about the no Nintendo Switch 2 next year.
Right.
The Xbox news, non-news, whatever that was. PlayStation, their earnings came out and how there's going to be no first-party stuff. And anything else you want to touch on? The Arcade 1-Up cabinet leak, and if there's anything else you guys wanted to talk about. Let's start off. Dathan, what video games did you play last week? What are you playing?
Still rocking Assassin's Creed Mirage. I did pick up Super Mario RPG on Switch, the remaster.
Nice.
I forgot how good that game was, and it's even much better on the Switch. I think I got maybe 75% of that game when I was a kid, and never finished it because I had to rent it. And so when you rent games as a kid, you were using someone else's save state, and so you had to beat it in 2 days, 3 days, or whatever it was. So I'm kind of rocking with that, and then a little bit more Vampire Survivors. That's pretty much the 3 for right now. I did pick up today I didn't pick it. I bought it. PlayStation Portal.
Oh,
Just because PlayStation Direct has them readily available. I guess they've been ready for a while now.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I'm gonna be trying to platinum and finish up Spider-Man once I get that. But that's pretty much it for right now.
That's awesome. No, I loved Mario RPG. I never played the original, but I got this remake on Switch, and we beat that. And great, that was a good RPG to like introduce to my kids and stuff. So
Yeah.
And it's not too hard, I don't think.
No, it's fairly straightforward. It's pretty simple.
The dancing kind of will get a little ingrained in your mind a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the victory music when you're done. It's like, okay, it's on to the next thing.
Right. Chris, what have you been playing, bro?
Still doing a lot of the Steam Next Fest demos that they put out. Big one that I did was Nevergrave. Put it out on my channel. It's published by the same people who did Palworld.
Oh no.
But for the people who love Dead Cells, it's very similar to that.
Okay.
Nice. And then, of course, Star Wars Survivor. Still playing that on the PS5. Cool. Picked up Mario vs. Donkey Kong on the Switch today.
Yeah.
So
did I. Yeah. What do you think of it so far?
I never played the Game Boy Advance version, and so far it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's it very much feels like a game meant for kids. And my son loves it, so I'm letting him play it. And then I also went back to Xenoblade Chronicles X, the definitive edition for the Switch.
Oh, okay. You've been playing that. You played that last week too.
Yeah. That one's going to take a while to do.
Yeah, they do. Donkey Kong, Mario versus Donkey Kong. It feels like a good Nintendo game. It's really polished. Dathan, I don't know if you're going to pick it up, but Smoke Break. Thank you, bro. I knew you'd make it. It feels like an old school Donkey Kong game where you're like, we're at the second level today, and I'm like hanging on the vines with Mario, and then you get the big hammer, and then in the demo you don't get to fight Donkey Kong. In the full game you do, so that's cool. Yeah. Me and my son are at the volcano level now, so I'm not gonna try to rush it and beat it, but I'm just trying to have him figure things out, try to have him figure out the puzzles, I think.
Yeah, I'll probably end up passing on it just because I wasn't really that fond of the demo. If it's classic Donkey Kong, then I would. But I don't know. Like I think I said two shows ago, like the time sensitive stuff, I cannot. I'm just not a fan of that at all.
Well, there's the casual
you can turn the timer off,
which turns off the timer. So
yeah, so yeah, exactly. That's why another reason I like Super Mario Brothers Wonder a lot. No timer at all in that game. Like, you play all the other Mario games, there's always a timer in the top right hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario Wonder, there's no timer. It's like, that's awesome. You can just go and look into all the secrets and stuff. I also got that, and I got Skull and Bones, and I've been playing that, and I liked it. I got into Sea of Thieves with you, Chris, and we played it for quite a number of times. I don't know, Dathan, if you ever played Sea of Thieves, but
I did, yeah. Now, what would you say is the comparison to Assassin's Creed Black Flag ship battle stuff compared to this? How similar are we talking about here?
Well, I'm probably not the one to answer because I have never played them, but I can give a comparison from that to Sea of Thieves. So like all I know is Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, apparently in Sea of Thieves, you can go and you can do more PvP on the islands. You can go treasure hunting. There's some treasure hunting in Skull and Bones, but it's mainly ship combat. Mm-hmm. You're not planting bombs. It's doing sneak attacks and going up on someone behind them and shooting them in the back. There's none of that. It's all on the ships. So from that standpoint, Sea of Thieves could be really frustrating. Like I remember we'd go up to a new island, we just about ready to drop off our loot, and we get ambushed by a whole bunch of people, and it's like, oh man, that was horrible. But overall, I'm really digging it. It's like a darker version of a pirate game than Sea of Thieves is. Sea of Thieves, I feel, is really like could be kid friendly. It's not they're dropping F-bombs all over the place in this new one. And like my kid's like on the other he's like watching his iPad. I'm like, hopefully he did not hear that, honey, you know. But oh yeah, and they're gonna try to troll me tonight. We'll see. But I'm really digging it. And we'll see how far I go. And then I was playing mainly during the week, still Yakuza Infinite Wealth. I spent the whole week on you develop your own resort island, and I spent the whole week. My character spent the whole week there, and I just got it up to a 5-star resort. And I can see why it's now called Infinite Wealth, because you start making a lot of money, and it's pretty crazy. Like, you guys will have to play it. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's like it's bringing in like things from like Animal Crossing now, and but in that insane environment, it's like something insane. So it's crazy.
Yeah, that's one of those that I need to check out.
But yeah, it's another really long game. I need to play shorter games. It's crazy. So anyway, let's start off. No Nintendo Switch 2 apparently this year. How
Heard
bummed
that.
are you guys?
I don't know. I don't think it's the worst thing to happen. I mean, I think they said Q1 2025 is what I heard.
Yeah.
You know, if it's going to take Nintendo longer, the software developers, you know, for them to make it a better console, more compatible. From what I heard, it's going to be cartridge compatible with what we have now. Same thing with digital. I'm all for it. I mean, if it takes longer to make it better, then yeah, let's go for it. I mean, there's, you know, Nintendo's been, you know, what 100% more can Nintendo do right now to make it better than what it, you know, what the Switch is. Just as long as it's not like, you know, the Nintendo Switch OLED 2 Pro, you know, something like that. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Chris,
Yeah,
are you jumping off the bridge?
No, they can take their time with it. I mean, one of the things Nintendo has always done is when they bring out a new system, the failure rate of their systems tends to be way lower than both Microsoft and Sony.
Good point.
Yeah.
So, you know, they've always been behind when it comes to the technology compared to Sony, Microsoft. But as far as like buying a day one system and worrying about it breaking down 6 months down the road, I never have a concern with Nintendo when it comes to that. So, yeah, this generation of Switch, we had the drift issue with the controllers.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's something they fix with whatever their next version is. Hopefully it's not a case where they call it like the Wii U, where people thought it was an add-on instead of a new console.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so hopefully it's not going to be called the Nintendo Switch 2 and they go with something different. But
the Super Switch.
At the same time, yeah, you know, I'd be down with a Super Switch.
Yeah, same.
You know, reminds me of Super NES.
Yep.
I am disappointed. Like, I was really hoping to get it this year. Like, I think I almost had earmarked $400 for it, and I was like, just gonna have it for that new console. But, you know, reading that Nintendo has a lot of inventory of like chips and parts for stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah, I actually like longer generations. Supposedly the new Xbox may release next year. Well, I think they might. We can talk about Xbox too. Xbox has an opportunity here because the other interesting news that happened was there's no first party PlayStation games coming this year. So
my question with that is the Wolverine game by Insomniac, is that not first party with the PlayStation for that? For
It is first party, but it's not coming this year.
I could have swore it was the fall of the fall of this year.
From
I
what
thought it
I
was
heard,
their
and Chris,
main.
you can, yeah,
I
from
thought it was
Chris,
their
you can
main
verify.
properties.
Yeah, apparently Venom is supposed to come next year, and then Wolverine, right?
Let me look. I can actually get the timeline from the Insomniac leak.
That you leaked. Don't.
Because I believe, based on that leak and everything, Wolverine was 2026, I think. And then Venom, yeah, I think Venom was next year. And then they had the third Spider-Man game in like 2027.
So they're pushing back Wolverine 2 full years then.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Everything was set up down the road. Let's see.
So I just, man, I feel like if they're gonna have a down year, and maybe Nintendo isn't gonna have the best year. I don't know what. Maybe they've got a special game that's coming out that we don't know about. Metroid 4, who knows? But Xbox has an opportunity here, and they had their business podcast, whatever you want to call that, on their official channel. Chris, you listened to it. I don't know if Dathan, you saw it. What'd you guys think of that? So basically, they said that they're porting 4 games to other consoles. They didn't say specifically what games those were, but apparently Xbox isn't dead after all. Wow, what a shock!
Yeah, the podcast, Phil Spencer said that it was 2 community games. So the rumor is that Sea of Thieves is one of those community games.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Grounded, I believe, was the other one. That's a community game. And then it was 2
Pentiment, and Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, so 2 first party. So back to the Insomniac, it's Marvel's Venom is 2025, Wolverine's 2026, Spider-Man 3 is 2028, and then an unnamed X-Men game in 2030 is what they had for their timeline for games they're releasing.
Yeah.
So the other thing, though, that Phil Spencer did say on that podcast is Game Pass is not coming to any other systems. It's only going to be for Xbox and PC. So he definitely said that they're not planning on doing anything with Sony or Nintendo as far as bringing Game Pass to those systems. And they are very much planning on supporting the Xbox for years to come. They want growth out of the Xbox division. They can see it. So
what's going on, David? Yeah, David knows it.
Yeah.
Man, I think the internet, and we touched on it last week a little bit, like the internet really is like doom and gloom over Xbox, but I almost feel like they are going to have the winning hand this year, because if there's no first party coming out for PlayStation 5, and I'm not saying that they're not going to have any other games, maybe they do. I'd love like a new Astros Playroom, but I don't know. Maybe there's something else coming out we don't know about. And then nothing. We don't have a new Nintendo Direct yet.
Mm-mm.
Like I thought we would have one by now. Maybe they've been waiting to put some of these games like Hi-Fi Rush in the Nintendo Direct, so they were waiting on Thursday's announcement. So maybe we'll get it next week. Who knows? But there's nothing too spectacular that I'm looking forward to for Nintendo. So Xbox needs to capitalize on that. I don't know. You also saw, Chris, right, that they are working on something special for like a new controller or something that's coming out later this year, and maybe new hardware. So they're committed to bringing out new hardware.
Yeah,
that piqued my interest a little bit.
He did say during that podcast too that they're Next Xbox, their plan with it is for it to be the most advanced console that will come to market. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, if they do just like they did this last generation with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, where they're fairly similar consoles. If Microsoft releases their console next year before Sony's announced anything, I mean, who knows if it's actually going to be the most advanced console?
Well, Microsoft has something that PlayStation doesn't have, is that they have people working on AI. So
Yeah.
that's their real card in the hole, ace in the hole. They could be doing something with AI and then more with cloud, because they have way more capabilities in cloud than PlayStation does right now. So, ooh, I'd kind of like a device like a Nintendo Switch that's like Xbox that maybe just streams from the cloud. That sounds great to me, and that you can pick up your save game files and bring them right over. Xbox branded, all in Xbox UI on the menus. That'd be awesome. So,
Won't have to play our games anymore. AI will do it for us.
well, yeah. How do we know you're not AI, bro?
Just say, hey, AI finishes game for me, and just sit and watch it, and there you go.
Yeah. I ain't got time for this. I got a kid to raise and I got a wife to deal with. Come on, play the game for me.
No, you just have AI do that, and then you play the game.
I think the only thing that I would just be bummed about, obviously, with Microsoft doing away with the physical, which we touched on last week, fairly certain that the next console is going to be just all digital. Like there won't be any physical media going forward anymore, and it's a shame. It sucks that that's what everything's come down to. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's probably going to be unavoidable at this point.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Well, and then you got to question, how are they going to go forward with keeping games? Games disappear all the time now as it is.
Oh yeah,
and there are groups out there that try to preserve old games. And what's going to happen with digital only?
mm-hmm.
Because preserving games it's a fascinating thing to look through at all these games that came out in the years before that have just up and disappeared. You can't find them anywhere anymore.
Right.
Especially digital games. There's a lot of them that have been delisted on Steam, the Xbox Store, PlayStation Store, for whatever reason, licensing issues with the music, whatever the case may be. And so, there may be a game out there.
You guys are depressing everyone tonight.
Sorry, guys.
Think positive.
I mean, I guess on a side positive note, I mean, for people that do have Xbox 360 collections, I mean, they are starting to go up in price. They are starting to move up on the price charting. So if you've got one, a collection, hey, don't take it to a pawn shop or sell it. Just hang on to it now because it's going to start being worth something.
I need to go back through my Xbox 360 and look at what I can download from their digital library before they turn that off. I need to look up when the date for that is. I think it's this year, but maybe that'd be a good video for everyone. But yeah, I think everything I've bought digitally, I haven't lost anything. So I'm not one of those people that I know of. I know there's games on there like on the 360 that I have, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the one that comes to mind. You can't download that anymore. I would have loved to play that on a modern console. There's like the Mortal Kombat arcade trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Played the heck out of that. NBA Jam. What was that one? There was like an NBA Jam one that you can't get anymore.
Yeah, that actually came out physical, I think, on PS4, I think, and Xbox 360, if I remember right.
But I've got some of those save files on my Xbox 360, so I just hopefully nothing they can't take it away. I don't think they can.
No, as long as you had it downloaded, it's still on there for most.
Yeah,
It's just the big one I'd seen the other day. What was the name of it? It was an old 360 game, but it was story wise, it was amazing. But it was like a war game, and it just got delisted, completely removed from every store front
World
available.
of Warcraft.
No, it wasn't.
Was it Medal of Honor?
No,
One
it
of
was.
the early Medal of Honor ones.
Was it
Yeah, well-
EverQuest?
Uh,
Do you remember that side story? We had that guy, my roommate in college. He would just play EverQuest all day. Like he wouldn't even go to class. He would play EverQuest. That was like 2001, 2002. He would play EverQuest all day. We never see him leave. David says, first experience losing something digital was on 360. Not a fan of any avenue where the product license I bought can be revoked at any time. Well, sorry, bro.
True story.
Yeah. Deadpool was one that was delisted.
Yeah, so I mean, if you start looking up the price of Deadpool on 360, I mean, it's probably going to go up.
They just need to come out with they need to do a remake of that one, I guess. New movie coming out.
They might do that with the Deadpool
Wolverine.
Deadpool Wolverine. It's not even Deadpool 3, it's Deadpool Wolverine.
No.
No.
Yep, gotta have Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. That's the dream combo.
Yep. Now, whether or not the movie is going to be any good, that's a different question.
Right. And talk about that. We talk about X-Men 97. They released the trailer for that. I guess Rogue's booty is not what it once was.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I'm afraid that show is not going to be any good.
No.
I'm going back. I watched it as a kid, but now I'm going back and I'm kind of watching it again. I'm kind of grinding it, kind of forced myself to go through and watch it again, because I think this new one starts at the exact moment the last episode ended, from what I got.
Right.
So I don't know. I kind of on the fence about it a little bit, but I'm going to give it a shot.
And then
it was the music. The music was so iconic.
And they got the voice actors back too.
Yeah, you're worried about 97 too. I am as well. I feel like everything on Disney Plus, and I don't want to make this totally be like a trash Disney show, but like I feel like everything they put out lately has been bad. So I don't know, or just mid. But going on with that, to good transition. Then that Arcade 1-Up leaked cabinet. Dathan, I don't know if you saw it, but they're going to be doing an X-Men 97 skin on the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet that they came out with.
Okay.
And man, I feel like I'm not excited for it at all. I don't know if I could pull up the image or not, but
what games are going to be on? Is it just a skin that's going to be on the cab? That's it? No new game or anything like that?
No new games.
Okay.
So,
well, at that point, why even make a skin? Why not just make a side art piece just to add to your cabinet that you already got at that point?
Well, yeah, that'd be too
make them
easy.
Both. Make it.
They make more money. Yeah, they're not making money. They do that.
Well, you
Everyone
can make the
hates it, but it
cabinet,
looks
and then
nice.
you can make the skin to put on it. I mean, they're not that hard.
Well, yeah. Well, at that point, yeah, I'd want them to do just a cabinet that has nothing on it, and we could skin it wherever we want and put whatever games we want. But they've never done that. They don't have any plans to do it. What's up, bad guy, dude? Mike Worley, thanks for joining, man. Smoke Break was in here, but I think he fell asleep. But we were just talking about the Arcade 1-Up guys. Mike, are you drunk? Yeah, he was drinking like hard liquor earlier. If you guys subbed to his channel yet, but they have like a sports show at 5:00, and I try to catch it while I'm like eating dinner. When the wife sees that I'm not looking at my phone, and he was like drinking like hard liquor with his Coke or whatever. So he probably went through the whole bottle at this point. Anyway, but good on you. They had a NFL Blitz tournament on Super Bowl Sunday, and Mike won the whole dang thing. So good job, bro. I'm proud of you. But he didn't get to watch the Super Bowl. Chris, I
Yeah.
guess your prediction didn't come through.
No, it didn't. But I did win $100 from work. With
Oh,
our Super Bowl fantasy thing that they do.
are you allowed to gamble at work? Wow.
Yeah. You know, I do work for the state, so we do all kinds of gambling there.
He got like a downstairs Asian, like something dirty going on down there.
Yeah.
Like, I know what. Yeah, I know what state government does.
Yep.
Anyway,
no, the war game that I was talking about was Spec Ops: The Line. It was, played it on the 360 originally.
okay.
Pretty great game, but it's been removed from everywhere. Like, you can't buy it anymore.
Mm.
So if you have a copy of that on 360, it's a great game, worth playing.
Maybe that's. Did they make a physical copy of that? We need to make a list of like games that we can look for at the swap meet coming up. I know Dathan, you can't go, but
Yeah.
Chris, you can go with me. I know we need if we find BMX XXX, we're picking that up, bro. Like he found BMX Triple X, and I don't know if you play that, but it's like totally crazy. Like you get your character gets naked or whatever, and you're just riding around the BMX. There's like no point to it, but it's like, dang, I think we should have bought that. I remember renting it, but anyway, it's like titles like that. Like Xbox 360 has some good stuff. Oh, what are they talking about? Wrestling now? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. No, this BMX Triple X was just like most of those other ones. Dave Mirra and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. All those.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only difference was you could ride around naked with your character, but it was like score a point.
Mike, pull an all-nighter. You won't even have to change clothes for your morning show. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, just stay up. We'd love to just do a live stream the whole time. I'd tune in for that. Xbox 360 was the GOAT for Microsoft consoles. Yeah, it was
good. It didn't start out great, but it was okay. It was good.
It was good.
It was the games.
It was the games. That's all that mattered was the games.
But it's always the games with any of these consoles, you know. I'd say
Game Room. What's up, bro?
It also helped that the 360 had the PS3 that it had to go against. You know, Sony had a big whiff on the PS3 at the beginning and kind of later on with that.
Well, maybe my memory's not what it used to be, but I thought, didn't the 360 come out before the PS3 did?
It did. It came out in November of 2005, and then the PS3 came out in November of 2006, and then 2 weeks later was the Wii in 2006.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are good times.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't forget about the original Xbox, David, because I felt like there were some real good ones right there. Halo. That was the first console that I feel like had good internet games and doing LAN parties.
I love the Need for Speed games on the original Xbox. Were fantastic. Love those games.
I don't know what some of you guys are working on. Yeah, the Need for Speed. I love racing games too. Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah, they need to bring back the arcade racing games. Some of these new ones that they have, Gran Turismo and Forza, they're trying to go too much towards the realistic, and there's way too many. There's too many, like, you have to design your car and everything before you can actually get to the racing or do any of the fun stuff.
I really hope that they do come out with a new Forza Horizon soon because I love those games. Your brother says Xbox did have some awesome games. I mean, topping Halo 1, Fusion Frenzy, Blinks. Yeah, good
Yeah.
times. Yeah, Fusion Frenzy, that was a good one.
I remember
That,
that.
that was like was that an Xbox Live one?
Yes, I remember. I won that game for 360 because I think they did a remaster. There was a contest that if you boosted your achievement score by a certain amount in like a 2-week period or something like that, they'd send you like 3 free games and shirts and all that stuff, and they'd track it. And so
That's cool.
that was about, I want to say, about 5 or 6 months after the console came out. And Fusion Frenzy was one of the games that you could win. And I played it, and then I finished it, and that was it. You could get 1,000 achievement points or achievement score in about an hour, and then it was on the shelf. That's what it was. That's when like every single game had 1,000 gamer score, and every arcade game had 200. There wasn't anything more than that. That's what
you could really boost your achievements early on because those big games, there was 1,000 gamer score, but there was only like 10 achievements.
Yep.
So I remember playing not Godzilla,
King Kong.
King Kong, yeah.
Kong, yep.
It's like super easy. Yep. And then another one was NCAA like 2K6 or something. Like,
there was a basketball.
Just like, make 5 rebounds in a game, 100 gamer score. Like, whoa.
And then there was it was Fight Night Round 06 or something, and you could there was a setting that you could put it up as. Yes, Elder Scrolls was fantastic, by the way.
Yeah.
The boxing one where you could change one of the settings to that a headbutt would not disqualify you, and you could just headbutt your opponent repeatedly, and then the 1,000 gamer score in 45 minutes. That was one of the early ones.
Yeah, good old Don Matrick. He did kill Xbox. I remember watching that E3. I was like so dejected, and I didn't get an Xbox One because of it, so I totally skipped that generation, and I think a lot of other people too did. But they are. Microsoft is a little more forward thinking, and I think they were a little too forward thinking in that when that happened.
Yeah, I just don't know how that Star Wars dance off didn't work with the Kinect. Such an amazing game.
Wasn't it on a Wii? On a Wii, the Wii 2, the Star Wars dancing? Maybe it wasn't.
No, I think it was only on the Kinect. But you could dance with Han Solo.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Han Solo. Han Solo.
I had that Xbox 360, the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
That when you opened it, it made the R2-D2 sound.
Oh, nice! I remember that. The white one, right?
Yeah.
The blue specs or something on it. Or something
yep.
Like
it was a really cool console.
I wish I had the Modern Warfare 3 one where you push the eject button and the night vision goggle sound would pop on.
Whoa,
and
that's cool.
I just sold that console about a month ago to my buddy too.
Do you remember like the faceplates? Just putting new faceplates on your 360. That was kind of cool.
That was a great idea that I think that it wasn't marketed enough. I don't think, because they had tons and tons of faceplates, but it wasn't I guess widely known or promoted because most of the faceplates were if you pre-ordered a game or something and it came with it. I rarely saw them in stores all that much, if anything.
No. I think I remember seeing some Gears of War faceplates, but there wasn't too much. I imagine there's guys on YouTube that have total huge collections of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wanted to say too, like I remember when Xbox Live came out, and I had them send me a membership card I don't know if you guys had that.
Oh
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
I had the Xbox membership card. Like,
Yep.
yeah, I'm actual on Xbox Live, yo. I paid the $50 or whatever. Here you go.
So I will do you guys one better. So right when the 360 was kind of in the heyday, you know how you when they first released avatars, there was a company that I think it was Blizzard that when you created a character for World of Warcraft, they would make a miniature one. It's about that big. It's about 5 inches of your avatar. And I actually had them make me one of my avatar, and
Oh my
Microsoft sent
god.
it. You know what?
That's
You want
awesome.
to? You guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Yeah, they didn't use too much of the avatars in the new consoles. I think it's on there, but
All right.
dude, this is sick.
So you can kind of see. It's backwards, but there's my gamer
Yeah.
tag greatness down there, and then it shows me kind of right there with the
Oh, that's
Xbox
totally
Live
that is
logo.
totally the
Logo
avatar.
right there, and you know.
That's
But
cool.
that
That's
was one
dope.
of the things that they had like during their heyday. It was only like a month promotion thing, but I think I spent I think maybe $60 or something on it. But it's just like 3D printed or whatever.
Wow.
But yes,
I-
that tops the membership card. So, and I did have that too.
Yeah, by quite a bit. Dude, that's awesome. David says Nintendo's recent comments about how easy it is to get complacent and egotistical when you are on top easily explains the decisions of Sony's PS2 to PS3 and Xbox 360s to one. Yeah. I'm still waiting for the Illumaroom.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
I don't know what that is.
It was so they had a tech demo for the Kinect where you could essentially it was Milo was the little boy you could talk to, and
Oh, now I know what you guys are
Yes.
talking about.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that was
remember
lame
that.
as hell.
God, it was creepy. And I remember they took like the piece of paper and they like scanned it down, and it showed him like grabbing the paper, and just I did not like that. It was not. I didn't like that.
maybe that's gonna make a comeback with the next Xbox system. You know, AI and everything. You'll be able to
No,
hand off your controller to Milo, and he can play the game for you.
that's really creepy.
It was very, very creepy.
That's amazing. Like you guys are thinking about that. Like I've like totally blocked that out of my memory. Like that's like
I remember when that
thing.
was
Oh, I want
announced,
Milo.
when that was brought up at E3, and everybody's clapping like, "Oh man, this is so great!" And I'm like, "What the hell is this? Is not. I don't like this at all."
Yeah.
That's because what they didn't show you was all the Microsoft employees with guns and a sign that said applause. You know, as they're standing back there, it's like applause right now. You're gonna love this. This
Whatever.
is Milo.
They hadn't been laid off yet. But did you guys have the Kinect?
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple games on there, but nothing too crazy.
I mean, I'd probably
Interesting.
use it for before they had auto sign in. Like it would just auto sign me in when I sat down.
Right.
So that was kind of nice.
Couldn't you like wave or something or say hi turn on Xbox and it would turn on?
Yeah, when it was in standby mode, you could do that.
Yeah. It was Peter Molyneux. You'll be able to watch the grass grow in Fable guy. How could you not believe him? No, Peter Molyneux. He was famous when he came out and introduced Grand Theft Auto 4, and he got the tattoo on his arm. It's like, oh, snap.
That was him.
Yeah, wasn't that him?
No, I don't think that
I
was.
don't know if that was him or not.
Who? It was the Xbox head of Xbox at the time.
I know what you're talking about. I can picture
Yeah.
him on the stage with pulling up his shirt and seeing the thing.
Pay no attention for a stalling for time.
Peter Moore.
Peter Moore. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
no.
I get my Peters. I get my Peters mixed
What
up.
is Peter Molyneux up to? Oh, he's got NFTs going on. Ah, good for that guy. I used to love
Peter
playing
Moore.
Black and White in the original Fable game. Those were great. But
Yeah, all right. Sorry. Too many
yeah,
Peters.
yep, that's what happens.
Yeah, when you get older, it's just the names mush together.
Yeah, you know,
When you get enough gray in your beard like Chris.
it just kind of seeps out. Can't help it. One
Uh,
thing I was going to ask you is, do you remember any games that had music that's just incredibly memorable to you?
me?
Yeah. For me in specific, I mean, the Burnout soundtracks to me were fantastic, and I think they each had 30 to 40 songs that I anytime, like, I'll be somewhere and the song will come on and they'll be like, that wasn't Burnout 2, that wasn't Burnout 3, and even my wife would be like, yeah, I remember you playing that game, because I would that song would come on constantly. So the Burnout series for sure, and I know that the radio stations in Grand Theft Auto were pretty memorable, pretty as well. But for me, it was Burnout.
Yeah, Burnout was so good.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
I was gonna say Tony Hawk.
Yeah, Pro Skater. Sorry, good call.
Oh, you're getting compliments, Chris.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get a beard this big. But no, what made me think about it is Remedy's really with Alan Wake, Control, Alan Wake 2. They have like areas in the game where they've just got amazing, like, epic music sequences to kind of push like the gameplay and everything. And it's like, how many other games have done that, where you just get like these epic moments going on with the music that helps generate like the emotional feelings you'd have playing that game?
Now, are you talking just like songs, or just like soundtrack or score,
It's
or just
both.
in any
It,
both? Okay.
it's both. Like, there's a moment in the original Alan Wake where you come across a farm, and it's supposed to be this made up band called the Old Gods of Asgard, and you're supposed to like set off all these fireworks and fight off all these enemies that are advancing on the farm, and it's just like this amazing game sequence that goes on. And I'm like, man, this is great. And then Control, they did it with, it's called the Ashtray Maze. It's just got this amazing song going on while you're trying to go through this maze and fight all these enemies. But like Final Fantasy 14, I don't know if you guys have played that. Some of the fights you have go on, just amazing scores throughout. But like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, that song like lives in my head all day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to that delisting thing we were talking about earlier. A lot of these games, if you have popular music, you have to license it out, and
Yep.
maybe you only have it for a 10-year window or something. And that's part of the reason why some of these are getting yanked, because they lose the rights to the songs, which is sad. So it's definitely an issue going forward. But I was going to say too, soundtrack and the score, I really appreciate when games can like have a full orchestra. They write their own music, scored, played. It's just like a movie. These video games are making just as much money as movies, maybe more. Like I think of Halo 1, great score on that thing. All the Halo games have good music.
Oh yeah, Project
Gotham
Gotham
Racing.
Racing.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have a good racing game, you gotta get a good soundtrack for sure.
Yeah, and I know that some of the Need for Speeds on Xbox, I think it was Underground or Hot Pursuit, any song that you had on your Xbox, you could implement that into the racing, and you could hit like the right bumper, and it would switch to the next song that you had on there, and you could make a custom playlist for the game too. So that was always fun to do.
That's awesome. David
Wow.
says Final Fantasy VII Rebirth rescoring all the original music with a huge orchestra is crazy. David, are you picking that up? Sounds like you are. I played the first part of that demo. I wasn't like, it was okay. I don't know if you guys have played the demo yet.
Not yet.
No.
It didn't really hook me yet. So, but I guess I only played the original Final Fantasy just a little bit, so I'm not too nostalgic over it. But I want to check it out. I'll probably pick it up, but so far it didn't really hook me yet. So I'm hoping they haven't released the second part of the demo yet. I think that's next week.
Yeah, Final Fantasy X, the first one I ever finished, the first one I ever finished was Final Fantasy X. I think Final Fantasy VII, when it originally came out on the PlayStation, I only got through the first disc, and I never finished the game. And then when they brought out Final Fantasy VII Remake, I played through all that, and I was like, oh, this is different. So I'm looking forward to Rebirth, but I'm not expecting it to be the same thing. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some interesting games coming out on PlayStation. That's one of them. So, but not much that they're leading on to yet. And I know we talked about their PlayStation Direct or whatever that was, showcase.
I mean, this might be a good time to catch up on backlogs.
Right.
Backlog
Good point.
game if there's not a whole lot coming out. That's my plan for now going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they did have the announcement that Sony paid for console exclusive for a game called Forever Skies. It's a survival game. I bought it on Steam early access, and I was kind of like, this isn't bad, but you build an airship, and I'm like, it's a single player game where you can build an airship as big as you want, and I'm like, without other people, it's just not fun. But the PlayStation version is going to have couch co-op, so you can play with more people. So it might be a better version to pick up when it comes out. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you'll have to let us know if you pick it up. Let us know if it's any good.
Yeah. And then, Dragon's Dogma 2. It's going to be the first Capcom game that's sold at $70.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, didn't Street Fighter 6, wasn't that $70? Now that I think about it, was that only 60?
I think that one was only 60.
Well, maybe it was. But they had some gameplay video that just came out for Dragon's Dogma 2, and it's like, it didn't look that man, I keep saying that tonight. Like, it didn't look that good. But I don't know. I think some of the textures in the environment looked interesting. All right, we'll come over and play on your couch.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, well, you come over. He's got air hockey behind him there.
Yeah,
we'll play some air hockey.
But
Dathan, we need you to we need you to do like a tour of your place, and we'll go over that. You can send me the video and I'll play it next week or whatever.
All right, I'll get something. I haven't even cleaned up. I've been slacking.
Okay, clean
lately.
up.
I'll clean up.
No pressure.
So just an FYI. So this is room 1. There's actually another room too. That's the museum that you guys don't know about yet.
Oh,
so
he's been holding out on us.
Yeah, free admission for you guys. So yeah, there's another one, but I'll make sure to make it look pretty for everybody.
That's awesome. Cool, we're excited.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's almost been an hour. It's been a good show, guys. We're talking a lot about Xbox 360, the good old days.
Yep. Nostalgia. It
The
sells.
good old days back in my day.
You got to think about it. Xbox 360 was 20 years ago almost.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Don't like to think about that. Don't like that at all.
No. Well, Xbox just had their 20th anniversary just a couple years ago, so they're gonna have 25 coming up here.
2026 is when that'll be the 25th.
Yeah. Cool.
They're still a long ways behind Nintendo.
That's true.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo's got a couple 100 years on these guys.
Starting out with playing cards.
Yep.
Well, when the NES came out in 1985, I think that's when you could say they put them on the map for me.
True, but if you were to go back to like way back in the day, then yeah, you go back to the. You go back. I mean, you could even go to like the little play and watch things.
Yeah.
Because that was before the console.
Glad you young kids appreciate the old ways.
Yep, the old ways, yeah.
Now, you're David. You're on here. Like I consider you like a young kid still. I know you're getting up there, but I remember playing like in Boy Scouts. We'd throw you around. Chris would throw you around the room, and I just like, man, that's the best times in our life right there.
Back when you're a kid, you don't have to worry about money or mortgages.
Oh, you still had to worry about. You
bills.
still worried about money.
Well, that was only so you could get more games, you know.
Yeah.
But
Sega is even older than Microsoft as a company. Fun fact.
yeah,
True.
It's too bad we never got a Dreamcast 2.
You know, Sega did what Nintendo don't. You guys remember that? That marketing campaign?
Oh yeah. Oh, they got me. I didn't buy a Super Nintendo. I got a Sega Genesis. I was one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
I got a Sega later on, as maybe halfway through the lifespan, but I got a Super Nintendo pretty much right away.
I was torn. It was a hard choice.
I think for me, it was Super Mario World that did it, you know, with the launch game. And so that was kind of the thing that set me over right away. And Zelda, Link to the Past.
Yeah, those were really good. There's some really, I'd probably say the Super Nintendo library is probably head and shoulders above Sega.
Oh,
if you guys got the Mini, I think that's a good way to see. The Super Nintendo Mini has some bangers on there.
Yeah, I got that.
It does. It does, especially if you mod it. You can you can do anything.
You can put non-Super Nintendo games on there.
You couldn't even do that with the PlayStation Mini when they brought that out.
Oh, I modded my PlayStation Mini.
Did you?
There's like some USB hack.
Yeah, there was.
Plug it in there, and it added like a whole bunch of games on there.
Wasn't all you did was just download a file or something and just plug it on there, and then
you
did some reboot process, and then there it was, all of them, like the whole library or something like that.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, and that was probably I only did it a couple times, but like I'm not a big PlayStation 1 fan, but still, that was cool to do. Well, anyway, I guess it is an hour. Do you guys have any parting thoughts? We had a great show tonight. Dathan, I love your camera or your audio setup now. That's awesome. It feels
good. I'm glad you guys can hear me because Eric, our buddy Eric, he actually watched the show last week and he sent me a text and said, "You sound like shit." I was like, I know what the problem is. I'll fix it. So,
okay, good.
Glad
Eric,
we got
thank
that
you.
scored away.
Good. Maybe we get Eric on the show one time.
Okay.
I'm sure he's out there doing something.
Oh yeah.
Something video game related. Chris, do you have any final thoughts for tonight?
No, just keep playing games, have fun.
Keep playing the games and have fun.
I do. I'm hoping they put out a a physical copy of the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered.
Oh, you know,
Yes, good call.
I bought it on PlayStation 5. I don't know if you guys played it. It's all right. It's got the original. You can play like the original tank controls, and then it's got updated, more modern controls. It's all right. I don't know. I think the graphics look really good. So
Yeah,
it's only. I got it for $26. I think now it's $30. If you pre-order it, there was a discount, so that's why I bought it on PlayStation 5.
So there's 3 games on it?
Yes, but there's 3 games, but there's like 2 different versions of like each game on there.
Okay.
Of each game. Like if you look at the achievements, you can see like there's like 6 big box games in there.
Okay.
So it's more than just those 3 games. There's like the add-ons or whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
So you get some good value, but it's nothing like I want to play like through every game all the way anymore. Yeah, in Tomb Raider 2, there's a training mode at the beginning. You're at Laura's house, and you try to jump from platform to platform to try to figure out the controls, and it gets freaking frustrating.
Mm.
Yep, I remember playing that back in the day.
So,
Platforming, don't like that.
But
you know,
and that game is severely lacking a like documentary video on how the game was made, what the developers were thinking about, and guys like Digital Eclipse, they've been doing some of that with their Atari 50 games and some of these other new games they've been doing. I'd love to see some behind the scenes footage of how the game was made, what they were thinking at the time, what they were using, the technology, and then play the game. Like, that is money for me. Like, do that. I would love it. Did they keep the proportions or did they reduce them? No, I think the proportions are fine, bro. You'll be fine. You'll be happy.
I think they rounded out that plot.
Yeah, poor Rogue. She got, anyway.
Well, she was having back problems, so she needed to go through the surgery.
Oh, okay. She had the surgery. Yeah.
It's understandable. You know, when you have back problems, you need to reduce that weight on the front
Maybe
load. Kind of tough.
Maybe she stopped hitting the gym because you got to do those squats to get that, right, Chris? I wouldn't know.
No, I think the squats are for the back, not the front.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I wouldn't know.
Because those are like the legs and the glutes is what you're working there. I mean, we could turn this into a fitness podcast if you wanted to.
No. Talking about movies and TV shows is enough for me. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's been an hour. I want to appreciate you guys. Thanks for staying with me. Be sure to give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. And then Asa Jack's Media Grounds has a channel also. He's doing movie reviews and game stuff. Yeah, no. Why are we talking about Dolly Parton? Please. Thank you for staying up with us. We'll see you on the next one. We're planning on being back here next week, and we'll see you guys next time. Okay.
Take care.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.